Right then folk, welcome back to another video beer review. Today we've got a beer coming out of Yonder. It is their Cherry Bomb, or Cherry Bomb, Sweet Shop Cherry Chocolate Pastry Stout beer, coming at 7% ABV. I've had this one for a bit of time now, like quite a bit of time, probably like 3 or 4 months, so best get around to it really. From our Wonky Treats series we present Cherry Bomb, a deliciously fun pastry stout exploding with cherry and chocolate flavour, inspired by a lovable and world-renowned adventurer and plumber in red and blue who battles beasties in a 2D fantasy kingdom, so you don't have to. I mean, arguably, well, yeah, it was 2D back in those days, wasn't it? What was the first one that kind of had a little bit of depth to it? I think if it was like 3, might have had a bit, like a tiny amount of depth to it, but still relatively 2D. And then obviously, you know, I think of Super Mario Sunshine as like a one of the first kind of 3D ones. But yeah, that was a game. That was a great game on the GameCube. Best before is 11th of October 25. I like precise dates like that. Rather than a month, which is what I do, because you know that's fine. And a precise date in the future is when it's best before. Yeah, it basically means it was probably canned on like 11th of October this year, or last year, sorry. But it looks cracking, doesn't it? Looks a lovely colour. Everything looks nice in this glass anyway, if it's dark especially. Single finger kind of like tan head, and the beer is jet black. So almost, maybe dark brown. On the nose, it is like, it's a bit more robust in the kind of coffee, dark chocolate, malty sort of notes than I was expecting it to be. And then of course the cherry does kind of pop through as well. We'll dive in. Cheers. Yeah. It's a funny one, like the cherries really dropped off. Well, I presume dropped off. It is there, but it's not really there that much. Yeah, it's just like it's a dark chocolate, coffee, and cherry does come in on the back end a little bit, but it's a lot lighter than what I was expecting, which is why I was kind of putting this off. I don't really like cherry stouts that often. I prefer to see, you know, strawberry or raspberry or something like that. You don't see strawberry stouts, strawberry and chocolate, stouts very often. I'd love to see more raspberry and stuff, and cherry from years back as well. You see tons of cherry, but like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of it. Yeah, it's a little bit underwhelming, is what I'd say, but because I'd still like appreciate it, even though I might not enjoy it. It just tastes like a relative. Cherry just comes in at the end really late on. You can't really taste it all the way through. The beer, it's relatively creamy, dark chocolate, not intensely malty. It's still got like smoky notes, but not the way I was thinking it was going to go. But because it's a pretty well balanced base beer, and then obviously the cherry that they've added to it I think it's just not enough. Yeah, interesting to give it a go, but nonetheless, definitely not the best I've had from Yonder. And part of that might be down to the time, the age of the can. What is it? It's March now, so it was like October, so it's 5 months old really. Yeah, should have reviewed it earlier. Anyway, see you next one. Cheers.